ZBC Jive TV, ZBC News, ZBC TV, ZTN Prime, Pre-K TV, Kiona TV, NRTV. No subscription is needed as all the channels are free to view. For $25 or the Zig equivalent, the decoder comes with a cable plus indoor and outdoor antenna. The decoders are available at the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, BAZ, Transmedia, and all the TV broadcasters.
We're broadcasting live from our Pockethill studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamo and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's always a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Always a lovely evening to you, Zain, and happy Valentine's Day. My name is Joyce Mabika. Susan Masona is on sign language.
And later on, Sibukele Maposa will be joining us from our Montrose studios. But we kick off this bulletin with these headlines. Business news, Manicaland community excited to host the Sanganai Kananani Tourism Expo.
And in sport, young Brian Bennett leads Chevrons to first ODI win in 5 matches after seeing off Ireland.
And now for the news in detail. United Arab Emirates Minister of State and member of the royal family, His Highness Sheikh Shakbut Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, has paid a courtesy call on President Emmerson Mnangagwa in Addis Ababa on the sidelines of the African Union Summit.
Josephine Gio with that report.
Accompanied by several officials from his country, His Highness Sheikh Shakbut Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan paid a courtesy call on President Mnangagwa in Addis Ababa. The meeting, held behind closed doors, saw a number of issues affecting both countries coming under the spotlight. Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Amon Murwira revealed that the meeting saw discussions focusing on trade between Zimbabwe and the United Arab Emirates. The UAE is currently Zimbabwe's second largest trading partner.
The key issues basically that there are excellent relations between the UAE and the Republic of Zimbabwe. And as you would know, since we started opening our embassies reciprocally between 2018 and 2019 between UAE and Zimbabwe, UAE has moved to second position in terms of trade statistics. Our number 1 trading partner is South Africa, and now our number 2 trading partner is UAE. So they have raised the stakes in terms of trade between Zimbabwe and the UAE.
The meeting culminated in them reaffirming an invite to President Mnangagwa to undertake a state visit to the United Arab Emirates.
We are talking about reciprocal visits between Zimbabwe and the UAE, and His Excellency has been requested at the time which is appropriate, which is agreed to pay a state visit to the UAE, and which His Excellency the President has agreed to.
President Mnangagwa also attended a closed high-level meeting on domestic health financing hosted by President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. President Mnangagwa used the platform to highlight how recent outbreaks of cholera, mpox and Marburg in some parts of Africa have revealed the need for the continent to remain vigilant and prepared to detect and respond to health emergencies. He said back home his government has made notable strides in containing sporadic outbreaks of health disasters through the whole of government approach. President Mnangagwa noted how government's allocation towards health has increased from 9.8% of the national budget in 2024 to 13.01% in 2025. This evening, the SADC chairperson is expected to make a presentation at the Peace and Security Council Heads of State and Government meeting, which will be looking into the situation in Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. On Saturday, President Mnangagwa will attend the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Addis Ababa.
A government is set to descend hard on errant public transport operators and drivers after a horrific accident that claimed 25 lives in Beitbridge, with preliminary investigations showing negligence as the cause.
According to survivors of the horrific accident, the driver of the Urban Connect bus had a heated exchange of words with passengers who were reprimanding him for speeding. Witnesses at the scene also gave an account of a daring and reckless driver who tried to overtake another vehicle a few meters from the toll gate. These are just pointers to an errant driver who led to the death of 25 innocent people.
Tudaenda kumabasa anditi iyo vatutanga kutotaura futi zvisinganzwisise zvezvekushaudha vabereki zvazvo saka ndopata kuti unoziva kuti isu tese titoriwo madrive anditi but kana uchifamba nevanhu zvakadaro zvinoita kuti bhazi rishaichi maclients anditi zvikanzi zvinakana basa saka mukomana anga akumhanya
driver pamberi anga achimhanya drive saka pamberi pake panga paine gonyeti remakondeina rine makondeina anditi saka iye angopinda uku ari muspeedi yake iyo ofu ichitraki ranga chibva kumberi uku ranga ratosvika.
The local leadership is equally at loss following the horror crash.
We are grieving as a nation and as Matabeleland South Province for the loss of life that could have been avoided. We are calling upon the authorities, especially the Minister of Home Affairs and Minister of Transport, to work closely to make sure that the drivers are fit for the job.
Preliminary investigations revealed that the driver had no retest while the bus had no license to ply the route.
Chinorwadza vabereki ndechekuti vatyairi vazhinji vari kutyaira vasina hanya mumugwagwa. Ukada kuona paitikira tsaona iyi panosuwisa zvikuru nekuti munhu anga atarisana netollgate. Saka mupfungwa dzedu tinoti aida here kunopaza tollgate iro nekuti mamhanyire aita anga asiri mamhanyire emunhu ainomira. Saka unoshaya kuti ko chii chinenge chagara munhu. Yambiro yose yatiri kuita tiri kungoona kuti tsaona hadzisi kudzokera kumashure. Ndoendawo kune hama neshamwari dzatinoseenza nadzo, tinoseenza nemapurisa, tinoseenza neVID. Ticharamba tichikurukura zvakanyanya kuti mabhazi kunyangwe vanotakura vanhu veruzhinji vasapfuure panzvimbo dzatinenge tichitarisa isu, kuitira kuti ramangwana tinoyamura vanhu vakati wandei kuti vasawirwe netsaona seyatiri kuona iyi.
Speaking after touring the bus accident site this Friday, the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Daniel Garwe, said government is working on modalities to assist victims of the accident.
Vanogadzira mugwagwa vakaisa zvikwangwani zvinotaura kuti waakusvika pa100 km chidzora speed, waakusvika pa80 km chidzora speed, waakusvika pa60 30 20 tollgate. Iwo svika pa20 uchifamba at 180 km per hour. Tinoda kuti mutemo uzoshandiswa semutemo. Zvinorwadza hama dzangu kurasikirwa nehama. Tese tinozviziva, tese tinorasikirwa nevadikani vakafanira vataunganira pano nhasi. Mashoko emunhu haagone kutinyaradza. Mashoko anonyaradza ndiwo mashoko anobva kuna Mwari atatumwa nawo naPresident kuti endai munotaurira mhuri dzarasikirwa nevadikani kuti bvumai kunyaradzwa naMwari.
Meanwhile, the delegation attended a funeral service for the victims at a local chapel in Beitbridge. 25 people were killed while 43 were injured after an Urban Connect bus collided head-on with an auto transport haulage truck near Lutumba tollgate this Thursday. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
Indeed, let's follow road rules and regulations. In our next report, wholesalers across the country are fully stocked with constant supplies of basic goods to retailers, proving the resilience of the country's supply chain system.
The country's product supply chain remains robust, and a survey carried out by this news crew showed that retailers are sourcing their stock from wholesalers, who in turn are being supplied by manufacturers of basic products.
Nasi ndaoda ma olivine, ndaoda ma zoe, raspberry, ma barley house, ma pfuko maheu, zvese ndazwana zvakakwana. Ndafara ndaona zvakakwana. Zvinhu zvakazara.
Tiri pa gain kenshekeri iri pana Lighton. Tayo tichidistributa ma products edu as trade kings. Tine ma biscuits, ma boom, ma aloha, ma heu, zvakasiyana, just a variety of products.
A visit to one of the top manufacturers of fast-moving consumer goods in Harare showed product lines running for pasta and flour, with the firm supplying its industrial and wholesale clients.
We
have flour, we have biscuits, we have pasta, and all our lines are running full capacity, and we're actually supplying all our customers.
Earlier this week, a survey carried out by ZBC News showed that most retail outlets' shelves across the country are full to the brim, save for just a few shops whose internal problems and failure to adapt to changing business environment has seen them closing some of their branches.
Local wholesalers in Bula have expressed confidence in the consistent and stable supply of goods, reinforcing the positive trajectory of market stability in the country.
Business leaders in the wholesale sector have reported healthy stock levels across a range of products, from basic commodities to manufactured goods, reassuring consumers of continued access to necessary items. Several wholesalers who spoke to this news crew emphasized the collaborative efforts between manufacturers, distributors and retailers that have contributed to the smooth flow of goods.
We're well stocked. You can have a look at our shelves. Anybody who walks in, you're able to get each and every item that you might require. Your groceries, everything is well catered for. I'd like to think we're meeting our market's demands in terms of availability. You don't have to wait for that long in order to get something that is locally made. And I think that's also key. We need to support our industry as well for it to grow.
The supply chain seems to be good at the moment. A few hiccups here and there, but generally the supply chain is pretty good. The policies are improving. They talk about the route to market. I think that's going to be quite a good initiative. I know there's an exercise to formalize the informal sector.
The wholesalers also acknowledged the importance of proactive planning and strategic partnerships in navigating potential supply chain fluctuations. They emphasized their commitment to working closely with suppliers and retailers to anticipate demand and ensure a continuous flow of goods.
The consistent supply of goods in Bula's wholesale sector further bolsters consumer confidence and contribute to the overall economic growth of Zimbabwe.
8 new e-passport centers have been established at district level since 2022, with more centers expected to be completed this year as government continues to improve access to traveling documents for the citizenry.
In a move which has transformed the way citizens access travel documents, government introduced the e-passport and established e-passport offices across the country beginning in 2022. The initiative has significantly improved the availability of essential traveling documents, bringing relief to more than 1 million people who have since benefited.
Even our jaja narombokwana
zvino zvakajeka hazvina kana dambudziko unozviitira zvinhu zvako wega and hausweri uripo tauya nguva diki diki zvatopera
izvozvi efficiency dzapo dzakanaka
zvaimprova zvasiyana kudhara taimukira womira queue akatenderera kuseruko pamwopedzera wakubirwa.
Prior to the introduction of e-passports, obtaining a traveling document was a daunting task, with long queues, limited facilities and the lengthy processing times made it a frustrating experience for many. In an interview with the ZBC News this Friday, Registrar General Mr. Henry Machiri revealed that more centers will be established this year.
When we established the electronic passport, government, besides the provincial office, saw it fit to decentralize this service further to districts. So we have started with strategic districts where we know there are quite a number of people, and those people in those areas were traveling long distances to get the service. But we are still going on computerizing more. Yes, the challenge we have in certain areas is that of office accommodation. But as soon as we resolve that issue, we'll be going further, putting the e-passport in those areas.
Wange, Rishavane, Murewa, Gokwe South and Mwenezi districts are some of the areas which have benefited from the Second Republic's e-passport decentralization program. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Namibian President Dr. Nangolo Mbumba has declared the 1st of March a public holiday in honor of the country's founding president, Dr. Sam Nyoma. The announcement was published in the Namibian official gazette this Friday, with President Mbumba emphasizing the day's importance for national unity and reflection. Dr. Nyoma died on the 8th of this month at a hospital in Windhoek at the age of 95. He will be buried at the National Heroes Acre in Windhoek on the 1st of March.
Masvingo province has hailed a 2-day medical outreach program spearheaded by Health and Childcare Ambassador, First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, which saw thousands accessing medical services free of charge.
As the curtain came down on the Masvingo Medical Outreach Program initiated by Health and Childcare Ambassador, First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, thousands received medical assistance during the course of the 2-day program. The medical personnel from the Ministry of Health and Childcare could be seen working flat out to ensure that everyone in attendance was catered for. A myriad of healthcare services, including eye care, family planning, cervical, breast and prostate cancer screenings, were on offer free of charge. Also on offer was HIV testing and counseling and treatment for non-communicable diseases and minor ailments. Of note, there was an increase in the number of men who came for health checks. Testimonies by medical personnel indicate that men do not often go for health checks, using their wives' health as a yardstick for their own. Against this background, Dr. Mnangagwa is working flat out to ensure that no one and no place is left behind in a drive to ensure that everyone knows their health status. Her efforts are yielding positive results.
Inini tauya pano nechirongwa chamai chakatinakira semadzimai kuti tiongererwe gomarara rechibereko, gomarara remazamu, zvakanakira kuti tichengetedze utano hwedu semadzimai echidiki.
Patotariswa mahara mai vakati zvakanaka tivatenda.
In a speech read on his behalf by the Provincial Epidemiology Disease Control Officer, PEDCO, Dr. Tapera Saravoye, Masvingo Provincial Medical Director, Dr. Madias Shamu said the province was grateful for the medical outreach program courtesy of the First Lady. He also spoke on how prostate cancer has become a major health concern among men globally.
To eliminate cervical cancer as a public health problem by 2030, it is recommended that 90%, which means 9 out of 10 of every woman in the reproductive age with precancerous lesions should be treated using an effective method. But that only depends upon their early identification through screening. Many a times, people come to the hospital when they already have symptoms, and it's already very late for them to be offered effective treatment. The treatment modalities that the Ministry of Health and Childcare is using are very effective. and are also recommended by the World Health Organization.
Masvingo National AIDS Council Programs Officer, Mr. Munyengetero Masunga, said the medical outreach program by the First Lady has made life easier for many who could not raise resources to access breast cancer screening. He added that, owing to increased awareness raising on HIV by Amai Mnangagwa, people are now free to come and access services like HIV testing.
We used to have high levels of stigma and discrimination, but with increased awareness raising, enhanced by the outreach of our First Lady, people are now free to come and access the services, ranging from testing for HIV to accessing treatment for those who have tested HIV positive. We also have our cervical cancer affecting most women who are HIV positive, but now because we have the mobile outreach that is coming to enhance efforts on the ground, we have seen a number of people openly accessing the services. Even yesterday, we actually had 6 teams testing for cervical cancer. They have brought in the prostate cancer screening to also help the men. And they are coming with a mobile outreach. Has actually made life easier for the majority of people who cannot raise resources to access the service.
The Mother of the Nation has been moving around the country with their medical outreach programs to ensure that everyone accesses quality healthcare services regardless of their geographical locations. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Masvingo.
Government has paid wheat farmers another tranche of $7 million United States dollars as it moves to clear their outstanding balance for wheat deliveries. Let's get more from the following report.
As part of efforts to clear the $32 million United States dollars for wheat deliveries, the Grain Marketing Board (GMB) has received $7 million United States dollars to clear wheat farmers' outstanding dues.
Last week we received 7.5 million US and 100 million ZIG to pay the local wheat farmers, and to date we have received 18 million US dollars and 215 million ZIG. Which goes a long way in clearing whatever is outstanding to the farmers. We also want to thank our farmers for their resilience as we move towards a wheat-based, food-secure country.
The GMB has assured farmers that the balance of 14 million United States dollars is being mobilized to ensure settlement in the shortest possible future. 10 Time Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
A government is accelerating the refurbishment of Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation's Montrose studios in Bulawayo to ensure the national broadcaster can deliver on its mandate countrywide.
With at least 10 out of 16 official national languages found in the southern part of Zimbabwe, ZBC's Montrose studios have been cited as critical in delivering lessons of the heritage-based curriculum to the nation. A delegation from the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, led by Deputy Minister Dr. Umpile Marupi, visited the studios this Friday to assess equipment installation progress.
We are revamping the studios, modernizing them under the Second Republic. So I must say that under the Second Republic we have seen a tremendous improvement in terms of support for critical infrastructure, construction of critical infrastructure such as the studios and the transmission network. So what we envisage when we complete the upgrades here at Montrose is that we will be having enough technical facilities for heritage-based broadcasting in line with the national vision.
The need to embrace technology took center stage.
The rate at which work is being done here is very, very fast because His Excellency wants to see the infrastructure across the whole of Zimbabwe being improved, being spruced up. And our coming here is to actually check the progress on the works that are being done because we are working on time.
The Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education has since engaged the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation as part of its effort to publicize the heritage-based curriculum.
Love was in the air, but not for everyone, as Harare CBD marked Valentine's Day with a mix of romance, excitement, and indifference. Let's take a look.
For some, it was a day to shower loved ones with gifts and affection.
Valentine is going well. As you can see, my friends want to gift on a friend yako, kana sister yako, or anyone. As for me, I have already received my bag.
However, not everyone was swept in the romantic frenzy. Some residents went about their daily routines seemingly unaffected by the day of love. Business owners selling Valentine's Day gifts reported a slower than expected day, citing high costs and low demand.
Valentine this year and gonna low bit.
This year yakati zviri pasi pane last year. Maruva matengero anoitwa mazoese asiyana matengero ari kuitwa nhasi.
As Valentine's Day came to a close in Harare CBD, the city's atmosphere revealed a tale of two worlds, one filled with love and flowers, and the other just another ordinary day. Yet, amidst the mixed emotions, a lingering sense of longing remained, as epitomized by one romantic who candidly admitted, Well, love was in the air, but you know what, Zain? Yes. One woman actually caught my attention in that story, and I just want to make an appeal to somebody, just anybody out there who is willing to give her something for Valentine's Day. That woman who came out right at the end, did you see her?
Yes, I did. I think at the end of the day, Joyce, the thought is what counts.
The thought
counts. No matter
counts.
how small the gift, and there's a saying that says comparison is the thief of joy. So you've got to appreciate the little that comes your way. Valentine's has come, and unfortunately it's about to end. So there's still room though. If you haven't received anything, you might just receive a gift.
Well, tell us what you gave or what you got on Valentine's Day if you're watching us on our Facebook platform or on YouTube. Remember, these and more stories are available on our website at www.zbcnews.co.za.
And if you want to check on our Facebook platform, like Joyce mentioned, do get in touch with us at ZBC News Online.
And here are stories still to come in this bulletin. Manicaland community excited to host the Sangana Hlanganani Tourism Expo.
In sports news, young Brian Bennett leads Chevrons to first Audi win in 5 matches after seeing off Ireland. We'll be back shortly.
Stroke of genius! Introduce the stroke of genius. Oh, Zimbabwe yakuzosumuka manje. Stroke of genius and rukureva chera. President E.D. Mnangagwa vari kupa mabankable, registrable and transferable title deeds na every farmer akapuwa munda pa land reform program. Takanga takapuwa minda asi takanga tisina simba rekupinda mumabhenki zemama business kuti tipewo maloni akachipa tatakuwara nezvimbazo man. Zvino ne stroke of genius yekupuwa title deeds tumupinda uko mubhenki sevamwe tutupuwa maloni takutodevelopa mafamu.
saka kudiudza kuti land yese yatoneva
ende ukapiwa title deed iroro chiyera munda wako uchatoreki yatova nhaka yevazukuru nevazukuru ndo zvinoda fama manje izvozvo security of tenure
iwe pandiri panapa ndakutokwanisa kutopa vana nhaka kuti chidimu chako ichi chemunda chidimu chako ichi
exactly
zvichifambiswa sei
president Idi Mnangagwa igenius manje vakabva vati kuti zvinyatsofamba negwara rakatwasanuka zviri transparent ndobva vagadza inonzi land tenure implementation committee iri kushanda nemo mumapazi ehurumende
but iwe unozviziva iwo kuti kune maland barons akazara ukanofamba minda dzevanhu
dai vatoregera zvavo ndiwo ukopokopo husiri kudiwa napresident Mnangagwa irwowo ndosaka land tenure implementation committee yakati ngatishandisei ma-ID numbers namba dzepachitupa kuti munhu haakwanisi kuva nemafamu maviri plus land tenure iyi committee haisi kupa minda patsvayo iri kutwasanudza pakupiwa kwematitle deeds
iwe saka zvichida kuti tatoprotected kasei mavarimi
exactly manje
ukozwa
kuti une stroke of genius here president Idi apa vasikira vana vezimbabwe upfumi
Feeling overwhelmed, anxious or struggling with difficult emotions? Do you feel like giving up? No matter what you are going through, you don't have to carry that burden alone. The Ministry of Health and Childcare, together with its partners, brings you the Parirenyatwa Psychological Support Center to help you. Call our toll-free hotline 2024, where trained professionals are available to listen and offer confidential support, guidance, and coping strategies tailored to your needs without judgment. Your mental health is important, and we are committed to helping you navigate life's challenges with the support you deserve. Take the first step towards feeling better. Call 2024 today. Remember, you are not alone. Together, we can find a way forward. You deserve support in your journey to healing.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Zimbabwe joined the global community in marking International Childhood Cancer Day with a call to increase support, early diagnosis and improved access to treatment for children battling cancer.
The day served as a platform to share stories of resilience, acknowledge the efforts of organizations like Kids Can Zimbabwe, and call for greater collective action to improve survival rates. Cancer survivors and parents of children battling cancer shared their stories.
He's 5 years old and I took him to the doctor when he had a very dry cough and difficulty breathing, and he was just feeling tired all the time. He was diagnosed with leukemia in December. It has taken its toll because there were so many changes that I noticed, like he didn't have an appetite at some point. It would be hard for him to eat. He lost some weight. It's been tough on him. He's just 5, but he's soldiering through.
I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So my journey is a little bit longer. So I started feeling like my neck was falling out of shape and got my biopsy done. That's when I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I had 6 cycles of chemotherapy firstly. And after the 6 cycles of chemotherapy, I wasn't fully healed. So I got another 6 cycles and then I was fully healed.
Kids Can Zimbabwe board member Reverend Gary Cross emphasized the need for collective action to improve childhood cancer treatment outcomes.
So through our work in early detection, case management, treatment support, psychosocial care, we're ensuring that no child needs to fight this battle alone. Come and join us on this journey.
Ministry of Health and Child Care NCD's Department Acting Deputy Director, Mr. Lee Nkala, highlighted the importance of educating the public about the impact of childhood cancer on families.
Today,
provides a platform for educating, creating awareness to the public on the impact that childhood cancer has on the family, as well as explore on the support networks of those affected. This fosters the government, the ministry, and the family members to promote the role of all stakeholders, in particular family institutions, on issues of prevention, care, management, and education on childhood cancers.
According to the Zimbabwe National Cancer Registry, the 5 most common childhood cancers are leukemia, renal tumors, retinoblastoma, lymphomas, and central nervous system tumors. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, it's time now to cross over to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. Sibukele Maposa will give us more news from that end. A very good evening to you, Sibukele.
Well, thank you very much, Joyce. Good evening to you and Zain. I'm absolutely loving the coordinated look. But big question, won't be asking now, but let's get straight into the stories for tonight. In a bid to gain a deeper understanding of the challenges faced by local authorities, the ZANU-PF Economic Development and Empowerment Cluster embarked on a tour of various industries in Bulawayo to foster a better understanding and collaboration with industry leaders.
The visit was driven by President Emmerson Mnangagwa's thrust of building a robust and thriving industrial sector in Zimbabwe, which saw the ZANU-PF Economic Development and Empowerment Cluster visiting the national rallies of Zimbabwe, General Belting, and Ref Air. Industry representatives expressed their appreciation for the tour, saying it provides an invaluable opportunity for the party to witness the strides made by local industries.
We've refurbished our boiler. We've refurbished a new press, the third press, which has helped us to increase our capacity for the plant. There's a need, especially through this visit, that a deliberate approach be taken to protect such kind of industries.
So over the past 4 years, we've been bringing in and upgrading and mechanizing the decoiling line, the bending, the splitting machines. So that side of it has increased. We can do it 10 times, 20 times faster than what we used to be able to do by hand. With the African free trade opening up, our competition is South Africa. And unless we're mechanized, we can't compete.
The leader of the economic cluster, Comrade Elifas Mashava, emphasized the significance of the tour in the context of the government's broader economic development agenda.
There's great potential. Great potential for these companies to be revamped. We're happy that some of them are operating at 40-60%, but one believe that with the support, more so on the political line, because some of it needs political support, the political will, which is what we're trying to put across.
The tour is a testament to the ruling party's commitment to industrialization, drive economic growth, create jobs, and improve the living standards of all Zimbabweans in line with Vision 2030. Hiland Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
From a story of recapitalization to a story of reclamation, farmers in Mberengwa West are confident that the resuscitation of Nyororo wetlands through a government-private sector partnership will play a key role in mitigating the effects of climate change.
The global changes in climate change are no longer a distant tale or far-fetched story that communities may brush aside. These changes have knocked on the country's doorstep, and communities already have testimonies of their grim effects. However, more than 250 families from Sivasa area in Mberengwa are bracing for a better future after the resuscitation of Nyororo wetlands.
Vativise avo mugwizi vakati vana mai nana baba ibvai kurima mugwizi tikugadzirirei gwizi gwenyu kugova gwizi kunochengetedza mvura, saka tiri kurima mugadheni redu.
Patairima uko taingorima zvigadheni zvimukomberedzewa zvidoko, saka izvino tava kurima pahombe tichiwana mvura kubva uko kwatakabvisiwa kudeto uko.
The project seeks to address pressing environmental challenges that include climate change leading to erratic rainfall, affecting agricultural production and water accessibility.
We act locally but think globally, and from our localized action they should affect, as you heard me saying, they are a source of temperature moderation, they are a source of humidity where vapor is coming from, as is like in the oceans.
The future of humanity depends on our efforts to protect and restore these indispensable ecosystems. Ladies and gentlemen, Zimbabwe is equally faced with the triple planetary crisis of climate change, pollution and biodiversity loss, and the need to protect wetlands cannot be overemphasized.
Zimbabwe launched its national policy and wetlands management guidelines in 2022 to promote the protection of the country's wetlands to sustain their ecological and socio-economic functions. Karayushe, ZBC News, Mberengwa.
Well, in a bid to preserve our national narrative, Wawa Prison has begun the process of turning a section of its primary school into a museum after government identified the institution as one of the critical historical establishments to be turned into a national monument.
Part of the school, which used to be a detention center during the colonial era, is set to be transformed to resemble the detention center it used to be due to its historical significance. Wawa Prison, which used to be the biggest detention center back then, once housed the country's former president, Comrade Robert Mugabe, and the late national hero, Comrade Leopold Takawira, among other luminaries.
Plans are also to have a museum, to have museum activities separated from the school activities to ensure that pupils are not disturbed in their learning processes. This will also facilitate prompt visits by school children from various schools in pursuance of the heritage-based curriculum that was introduced in 2024. Probably, the school children who will participate at the Independence Celebration Children's Party can also have the privilege to, after the Independence celebrations, to come over to tour the museum.
Wawa Prison is one of the institutions identified by government to be part of historical sites to be turned into heritage sites, including Konmara Prison, Mtapa War, and Skombela Detention Center, as the Midlands Province prepares to host this year's independence celebrations. Meanwhile, the province says it is ready to host memorable Independence Day celebrations with a target to welcome 100,000 delegates.
As a province, we are grateful to the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, and current SADC Chairman, Comrade Emmerson Dambuzon Mnangagwa, for allowing us to host the Independence Day in Midlands Province. We are going to mobilize 100,000 people for this event. As of today, as Midlands Province, we have raised 200 cattle and 100 goats.
Nembudzia Growth Point in Gokwe North District becomes the first center to host independence celebrations in the Midlands Province after the Second Republic decentralized national events in line with the devolution and decentralization agenda. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
And that'll be all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigele Maposa. Joyce and Zay now handing back to you to take us through the rest of the bulletin from this end. Good evening and once again, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you, Sibukele, and same to you, and it also happy Valentine's Day to our team at our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. We continue from Pockets Hill in Harare. The Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill is set to go for the second parliamentary reading next Tuesday. Let's get the details from the following report.
After nationwide consultation, the Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill, which among other issues seeks to strengthen the public broadcasters' operations, will be read in the National Assembly for the second time this coming week. Parliament has thrown its weight behind the bill, and there is optimism it will sail through.
The amendment bill is coming to Parliament next week for the second reading. In the second reading, as you remember, in December we went across the country to all provinces, basically asking people what they wanted in the bill. So what is happening next week is that we are going to table our report, preferably on Tuesday, and then before the minister then reads out the second reading for the bill. And then that will allow every parliamentarian to then debate the bill.
The Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation says its mandate will be greatly enhanced if the bill sees the light of day.
If the Broadcasting Services Act Amendment Bill passes,
as the public broadcaster, will be in a position to improve our revenue, and that revenue will be utilized in line with the National Development Strategy 1 to recapitalize the technical facilities across all the facets of the national broadcaster ZBC, and some of the funds will be used to produce high quality and innovative content that speaks to the nation of Zimbabwe, to the niche, the needs of the people of Zimbabwe.
The crafting and refining of the Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill is part of the media reform agenda being instituted by the Second Republic.
Youths continue to score successes in agriculture production as they embrace government's drive to attain national food security. One such example is Chegudu's Mount Carmel farm, where a young entrepreneur has ventured into mixed farming, integrating crop production with livestock and aquaculture. Let's take a look.
As part of efforts to enhance food security in the country, a young farmer at Mount Carmel Farm in Chegutu has successfully established a thriving mixed farming operation that spans over 130 hectares, primarily dedicated to maize production, alongside a robust livestock program comprising 700 cattle and over 300 Boer goats. The farm also boasts of a fish farming initiative contributing to a diverse agricultural ecosystem.
Mahectares ari pano pane 1,200 hectares purazi redu, 300 hectares ndekuri arable kucharemwa macrops. So far kuri arable ikokuku takarima 133 hectares dzechibage cheshumba chamuri kuona ichi. Tiri kutarisira 800 tons pa 133 hectares zedu, zichireva kuti inenge iri 5 to 6 tons per hectare.
Farm owner Dr. Paul Tungwarara says production at the farm is aimed at contributing to national food security through sustainable agricultural practices.
Basa rabatwa panapa tikutokontributa zvakanyanya kunyika nekuti chibage chedu chapera kudai chatakohwa tichaendesa kuGMB zvinova zvichabatsirawo nyika yedu tikutokontributa zvakanyanya sema youth apinda muchirongwa chekurima. Panapa tiri kuita mombe I think tine around 800 mombe dzatanadzo so far. Mbudzi I think over 500.
The enterprise has also created job opportunities for the youth dividend.
Zvabatsira chaizvo because inini I'm just a young youth and I'm 25 years old. And ndiri kutoraramawo and I've managed to employ at least 50 people.
With the projection of normal to above normal rainfall, the country is gearing up to recover from the El Nino-induced drought that affected agricultural production last year. John Nandara, ZBC News, Chegutu.
Young people deciding to take the economy in their hands as they advance national development. We move on to another story where young people have decided to take the bull by its horns as youths in Mavuku are harnessing dance as an effective tool to combat drug and substance abuse in their communities.
A platform to showcase talent dubbed I Choose Dance brings together young people from Mavuku and surrounding areas to participate in dance classes as a way of shunning drug and substance abuse. The teenagers who are part of the program shared how the initiative has impacted positively on their lives.
Inotibatsira isusu mageto youth vanogara kugeto kunyanya kuti tisanyanya kuita zvemadrugs because the more yaunoswera uri kumba usina zvauri kuita the more yaunotanga kufunga kuti rega ndiite zvemadrugs.
Organizers of the initiative believe the interactions will keep youths off the streets while also capacitating them with life skills.
This initiative is not just about dance classes or having fun. We have a number of life skills trainings that we have. We have counseling sessions that we have with people, and we have been targeting communities that are already affected by issues of drug and substance abuse. So far we have been in Kuwadzana 2 and now we are here in Tafara.
This program Takaita so that we can actually transform lives. Since we are having my agent issues in Zimbabwe, that's an GBV, drugs and substance abuse, and we actually chose drugs and substance abuse to be the main because though it will affect my youth.
Drug and substance abuse has wreaked havoc among youths, with government, individuals and stakeholders taking up the initiative to fight the social ill.
we continue to say no to drug and substance abuse. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back shortly with business updates.
The Zimbabwe Tourism Authority is calling all operators of tourist facilities who have not registered or those with expired licenses and certificates to come forward and register their facilities in compliance with the provisions of Section 36 of the Tourism Act, Chapter 14, 20 of 1996 by 15 February 2025. According to Statutory Instrument Number 106 of 1996, categories of the tourist facilities that must be registered with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority include but are not limited to conference organizers, restaurants, whether in hotel or otherwise, fast food restaurants, vehicle, bicycle, boat, bus hire, courier shops, tour operators, hunting operators, tour guides, non-hotel conference facilities and venues, travel agents including those online, accommodation including hotels, lodges, guest houses, camps and campsites, bed and breakfast accommodation, Airbnb accommodation, visitor attractions including game parks, farms, art galleries, visitor activities including golf, horse riding, bungee jumping, wedding venues, picnic or braai sports, open air function venues. All facilities that register or renew their licenses and certificates on or before the 15th of February 2025 will have no penalties charged. From the 1st of March 2025, the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, in conjunction with law enforcement agents, will be deployed to bring all unregistered facilities to book. For further information and assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us at the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority offices that are located across the country. Travel and experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Have you heard about Marechera? Hanziko. But he says keeper. They say he has this glow about him now. He doesn't walk. He glides.
I hate he has got people who iron his money.
But have you heard that when he coughs, money just comes out of the blue? Out of the orange.
Hey yo.
Marechera.
Says Keeper, Zvakuendeka. Introducing the new Mukuru wallet. Step up with DSTV and we'll show up by giving you more incredible entertainment.
Going to have a little fun.
Upgrade your subscription between the 13th of January and the 31st of March and get an even higher package for a whole month on us.
To the back of the net!
There's nothing better than putting a little bit in but getting a lot out.
This is the time to take risks.
Incredible!
I've heard good things about you. Don't let me down.
Step up and we'll show up on your home of entertainment, DSTV.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The Manicaland community is gearing up to host the Hlanganani Kumbanai Tourism Expo as preparations for the international event commence.
The news of Manicaland province being chosen as host for this year's Hlanganani Tourism Expo, christened Kumbanai in the local dialect, has been met with huge excitement by operators who have sprung to action to prepare for the grand tourism event. The expo is being held outside of Bulawayo for the first time in 18 years.
What the minister alluded to in terms of refurbishments and paying attention to detail in as far as softs are concerned, I think it's one of the areas that we need to focus on.
Actually, we are going to have our sleeves up to start to revamp some of our facilities.
Tichatopa in-house training ku staff yedu tindozvatanzwa kuna minister. Kuti vagare vari ready kuitira kuti service yedu irambe iri top notch.
Local authorities have pledged to play their part in ensuring the success of the expo.
We'll be mobilizing support from our ratepayers, from our business persons, and we'll also look into the possibility of also giving incentives so that the event becomes a success.
Our expectations obviously is the improvement of infrastructure. Our roads network coming to Manicaland are going to be improved. Coming to Nyanga, where we are, also going to be improved.
Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Mishek Mugadza, is convinced the Tourism Expo will promote Manicaland's unique offerings and promote growth of the provincial GDP.
This province is one of the best tourism destinations in the country, boasting the most scenic views, excellent climatic conditions, and prime resort areas that continue to be our treasure as a marvel for many locally and internationally. Are you aware that our average temperature is 14 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius? Are you aware that our rainfall average is 1,098 millimeters? Are you aware that we have all the 5 ecological regions, agricultural regions in this country, region 1 to region 5, and we're around about the only province with such a privilege.
The Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Barbara Wozi, reviewed the plans to upgrade some facilities in the province, including hot springs, among other destinations.
We believe that Manicaland should be known by the world that it's another world of wonder that God has given us. Beautiful. What we sell, Isuzu is a ministry, our strategy is heritage-based. One of the products Tagadzia is an example of what is possible is hot springs. We want to make it a medical tourism product. Nekuti anti vanhu vari kuuya vachigeza mvura iyoyo inopisa iri kubuda muchitubu. When they come, they spread themselves with that water. There's something that they believe it's medical, and we call it medical tourism.
The Sanganai Hlanganani Kumbanai Tourism Expo, which will be held in Mutare from the 10th to the 12th of September, will be taken to Masvingo Province next year before Mashonaland West Province hosts the prestigious event the following year. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
And that's our look at business news. And guess what? Anna Shemrombezi is the bearer of good news this evening. We take a break, and when we return, we find out why.
The Big Brother Mzansi house is giving spice. It's giving umlilo. So find some shade, because the housemates have entered the chat and they will tell what they must for the 2 meter. It's all about keeping it cool, even when they are seeing flames. Asbanye.
Big Brother Mzansi Season 5 starts Sunday, 12th January at 6 p.m. only on the home of local. Big Brother Mzansi, proudly sponsored by Lotto Star.
Are you a musically talented and creative person? Well, guess what? The University of Zimbabwe has now got you covered.
Music is that which imparts vitality to a society. A society without music is like a dead society.
Here at UZ, we have tailor-made courses for you, the passionate musician that you are.
Talent without direction, useless.
Invest in your music by acquiring knowledge. That's professionalism.
Which is why the University of Zimbabwe's honors an African musicology degree seeks to nurture you and guide you into stardom.
It is so refreshing and encouraging that music is now being taught as a subject of instruction in universities, particularly the University of Zimbabwe.
To enroll, visit the University of Zimbabwe's website, www.uz.ac.zw.
Let the sound of the music of our heritage
echo beyond the confines of our boundaries.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shamrombedzi here with the latest in the world of sport. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you had a good one just like us, cricket lovers. Rookie Brian Burnett delivered a perfect Valentine's gift for Zimbabwe cricket lovers after he struck a fluent 169 runs to lead the Chevrons to a 49-run victory over Ireland in the first one-day international match played at Harare Sports Club this Friday.
Burnett, opening the batting for the first time, managed to lead Zimbabwe to a first win in 5 ODIs after seeing off Ireland by 49 runs in the first of 3 matches at Harare Sports Club. The 21-year-old, who was just playing his 7th ODI, has scored his runs from 163 balls as he shepherded the innings for the hosts that are smarting from a defeat in the one-off test match.
In the power play, had a decent start, got batted on ball quite nicely, so it was just a matter of fact to just keep going, building partnerships with the next batters. And today that happened for me, and I'm just grateful for that. So yeah, basically just taking my time, being patient. I think on that kind of pitch it was a bit tricky with the new ball. It started slowing up a bit, especially on the good length. It was just mainly just to stay in strong positions, watch the ball, and if it's in your zone, you can go for it. But the main thing was just keeping your shape, staying in strong positions.
Earlier in the day, Ireland won the toss and elected to bet on a wicket that generally favours chasing sides, but Zimbabwe were determined to change the script after openers Burnett and Ben Curran put on 95 runs for the first wicket before off-spinner Andy McBean broke the stand. There was no respite though, as Burnett and captain Craig Evan then added 136 runs in 134 balls in a second wicket stand that was constructed carefully, as Zimbabwe eventually managed 299 runs for 5 after 50 overs. In reply, Ireland went toe-to-toe for most of the chase but ran out of wickets at the end, with Blessing Mzarabani getting 4 wickets, Richard Ngarava 3 and all-rounder Wesley Madere snapped 2 to dismiss the visitors for 250 runs. The two teams meet again on Sunday for the second ODI. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe's top tennis player Courtney Locke and his Indian partner Nikki Panacha made the semi-finals in doubles at the Delhi Open 2025 tennis tournament this Thursday.
Zimbabwe's doubles in Taro Mochizuki and Kaito Usugi in the quarterfinals in the DLTA complex in Delhi. The pair won the 3-set thriller 6-3, 2-6, 10-5 to move to the semi-finals of the Delhi Open. The two were ecstatic about their progress.
Yeah, it was a tough match. We know both of them very well, and we played a good first set. Second set we got a little bit unlucky, and they played well. And then I think we played a really good third set. I was happy with the intent we played.
Courtney, I have known him for a long time, like since juniors, I would say, and it was fortunate that I was looking for a partner, and we met in Thailand a few weeks back, and I thought, okay, he would be willing to play with me, so I just asked him, and he was kind of to say yes, and yeah, so far it's going great, and looking forward to more.
Locke and Punacha will face Great Britain's Jay Clark and Johannes in the semis this Saturday. Patience Nyagato, CBC News, India.
Tag Rugby Trust has launched a senior tag tournament, a non-contact version of traditional rugby, which got underway at Harare Sports Club this Friday.
The sport was introduced in the country 3 years ago with the goal of developing a national team to represent Zimbabwe in international competitions. Tag Rugby was not solely driven by the prospect of participating in the 2026 World Cup, but rather to promote the sport in communities, clubs and high schools. The focus has been on high-density areas with the aim of providing exposure and opportunities for young people to travel and compete internationally.
We're trying to have a Zim national team of senior tag, which is going to represent Zimbabwe. So we started from the high schools, getting up into the clubs. So because of the slot that we have, so we now doing senior tag, yeah.
The response has been encouraging, with 5 clubs and 7 schools participating in the sport. To achieve this, the organizers are hosting tournaments and providing training and exposure to players in all provinces. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe received an invitation to participate in a tournament in South Africa in November, which is a significant opportunity for the team to gain international experience.
That's it from the Sports Corner, where the report and focus is up next.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day to all of those joining us in today's edition of the Weather Report and Forecast. My name is Baba Maketa. Let's start off by taking a look at the rainfall amounts that were received this morning. Gokwe had 33 millimeters, followed by Victoria Falls with 29 millimeters, and Beitbridge recorded 12 millimeters, while other stations throughout the country had rainfall amounts less than 10 millimeters. Let us take a look at the forecast for the coming week throughout the country, where we are expecting thunderstorms throughout the country as shown in green there, but they should be heavier over the western part of the country, where we are seeing blobs of yellow signifying intensified rainfall. Now this should be over the northern parts of the country, especially up to Monday. But from Monday, we're expecting a reduction in precipitation, especially over the southern parts of the country, but the northern areas should continue being wet. Looking at the temperatures expected today evening into tomorrow morning, we're expecting the central watershed to be slightly cooler than the extreme edges of the country, where we're expecting 23 in the morning over Kariba and 21 over Chirezi there. Again, in terms of the maximum temperatures, we're expecting cooler temperatures over the central watershed, and the northern parts of the country, that is over the Zambezi Valley, are expected to go to as high as 30 degrees Celsius, that is for Kariba there. Now let us take a look at the detailed forecast for our major holidays, resort areas and major cities. Bulawayo is expected to be raining up to Wednesday, and temperatures won't go above 27 degrees Celsius. In Harare, again, we're expecting precipitation up to Wednesday and temperatures in the tune of 23 to 26 degrees Celsius. Matobo should be raining up to Tuesday and temperatures won't go above 29 degrees Celsius. Masingo should be raining for the greater part of the week and temperatures will be between 23 and 28 degrees Celsius. Gwanda would be raining only over the weekend, but for the rest of the week we're expecting partly cloudy conditions with nothing much in terms of rain. For Gweru will be raining up to Wednesday and temperatures won't go very high. Kwekwe again only raining over the weekend up to Monday, but nothing much. Kadoma will be raining for the greater part of the week and temperatures will be between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius. Chinoi will be raining again for the greater part of the week and temperatures will be subdued. Lupane rain all over the week. Victoria Falls should be raining again all over the week and temperatures won't go above 28 degrees Celsius due to these rains. Bindura again raining but temperatures not rising. In Kariba, temperatures will go to as high as 31 degrees Celsius under rainy conditions. Marondera, nothing much in terms of rain. Nyanga, yes, it will be raining, but temperatures will be very low. Now, Zimbabwe, that is all that we had from the weather desk. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day.
Well, that puts a cap on tonight's bulletin from the crew behind the scenes and all of us here. Good night.
Good night.